Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worldly One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, today we're going to learn one of the beautiful suttas from the Miracle Discourses, Anguttara Nikaya, and sutta name is called Thorns, a Kaṇṭaka Sutta. As we are practicing Dhamma, and when we progress in it, we face several obstacles, and those obstacles can become uh, difficult to get rid of. So the Buddha explains here that there are 10 thrones which cause difficulties what we are practicing at. If we know about it, then we can change or we can divert our mind according to that, and we can save ourselves or we can take precautions not to fall into these difficulties. So let's begin the sutta. Evang me sutam. Does I have word? So ekam samayam bhagava vesaliyam viharati mahavani kutagara salaya. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at a Vaishali in a Mahavana, great wood, Kutagara Salaya. So, like proof of that. Sambahulehi abhinyatehi therehi savakehi sadding. On that time, very famous, so well-known bhikkhus like Venerable Chalena, Venerable Upachala or Chala, Venerable Kukkuta, Venerable Kalimba, Venerable Nikata, Venerable Katissa, Venerable, or there are several well-known bhikkhus was dwelling with the Buddha in the same place. So, in a Kutagara Sala in Vaisali, the Buddha was not living there. This name may be very new for us, but in that time, these bhikkhus were traveling and they are preaching Dhamma. So they were very well known on that time. So they were also staying with the Supreme Buddha. At that time, Terenopana Samayena Sambahula Abhinyata Lichavi. So at that time, that well-known Lichavis. So Vesali is the place where the Lichavi clans live. You know? So it is their territory. It is their place. And the Buddha has given a beautiful Buddha said regarding them that because have you seen the deities of Taj itself? So Manapakaik Devta or something. So they said no one they so look at the Lichavis. They're youngsters or they when they gather together, they looks like heavenly beings. So they were very confident on Buddha. They had a lot of saddha on Buddha, and uh, they were practicing good dhamma also. So time to time, these Lichavis they visit the Buddha to listen to Dhamma. And how they come to the monastery, it is mentioned here. So the very well-known Lichavis with a very nice rides or very nice, very beautiful or fine carriages, they entered in this great wood. While they were entering, this vehicle or these carriages were making a racket sound, or the dreadful sound, like a lot of noise it was creating, because not a single person, there were several people and they were utilizing several carts. Like if we stuck in the like if you come to India, we have a one culture, it's called honking. So whenever you travel, there is a four vehicles and you will hear the four horns. Honking will be there, and it's becomes it's a dreadful. So in that time, that each lichavis or couple of them using a one carriage. So there may be the 100 of carriages or 50 carriages. When they all enter in the silent wood, what happened? So the lot of noise has created. So they were entering in the forest, and their carriages, they made a dreadful racket. And people talked also. It's a natural thing. Even two people going on bicycle today, they will ask each other, how are you doing? Where are you going? So that noise is also here. It is very hard for us or Indians to be silent. There are some good people also. So they were making a lot of noise. That time, Saddha Kaṇṭaka Kopana Jhana Vutta Bhagavata. So these bhikkhus who were dwelling there, in them, this thought has arisen. What happened? They said that the Buddha has explained that the noise is an obstacle or thrown for the jhanas, for the concentrated, for immersion. Okay, so sound is the throne for seclusion or absorption. So the bhikkhus who were dwelling there, they thought like this. Lichavis were coming to visit the Buddha, but they were making a lot of noise. And that's why this bhikkhu thought, or bhikkhu said to themselves, oh, the Buddha has said these things. It is obstacle for, it's a throne for concentration or absorption. Then it will be better. Yang nuna mayang yena gosinga salavanadaye tenuku sankaviyam. So these are all the well-known bhikkhus. They said, let's go to the Gosinga Salavud. So close to this monastery where the Buddha was dwelling. There is another forest or another park that is called Gosinga Salavud. So these all the bhikkhus, Tattamayang Appasaddha, Appakinna, Pasuri Yamati. There we can meditate comfortably, free of noise and crowds. So they thought this way that Buddha has mentioned us. Noise is a throne for absorption. And if we go to the Gosinga Salavana, there we will be staying comfortably. There won't be any disturbance. And we can meditate there. Atapo te ayasmanto yena Gosinga Salavanadaye te lupa sankamitsu. Tatthate ayasmanto appasaddha appakinna pasu viharanti. All the monks, then those venerable bhikkhus, they went to the Gosinga Salavud, where they meditate comfortably, free of noise and crowds. When Supreme Buddha talked with all the Lichavis, after conversation with the Lichavis, because Lichavis, they visited this forest to see the Buddha. They want to talk with the Buddha. After the conversation is finished from the Lichavis, Supreme Buddha asked, he was still in the monastery and still sitting in the where the Dhamma is preached. So Buddha asked from bhikkhus, Atako Bhagava Bhikkhu Amantes. So the Buddha asked all the bhikkhus, said to the bhikkhus, Kaham ko bhikkhave chalo, kaham upachalo, kaham kukkuto, kaham kalimbo, kaham nikato, kaham katissaho, katissaho, kaham ko te bhikkhave thera savaka gatati. What do they explain? That because where are the chala, upachala, kakkata, no? Kakkuta, kalimba, nikata, katissa, where are these all well-known disciples? Where the senior bhikkhus went? Where they gone? It means after conversation, and Buddha sees that all the bhikkhus are there or not. It's a very beautiful thing, you know. If you miss any classes, or if you miss something, so one class we can understand, two we can, and then, oh, I haven't seen this person in a long time. That happened. So the Buddha was delivering the same Dhamma talk to the Lichavis, and after finishing that, Buddha sees that all the bhikkhus are sitting here, but some of the well-known bhikkhus are absent. And that's why Buddha asked from them, oh, but where are these bhikkhus? Where the senior monks has went? That time, Ida Bhante Tesang Ayasmantana Etadahosi. So, one of the bhikkhu, he told the Supreme Buddha that these bhikkhu were thought like this. They think like that these lichavis are visiting in the forest to meet the Supreme Buddha with the superior and fine carriages they brought. And these carriages or their noise was very great. And they remember the Buddha has said to us that Saddha Kaṇṭaka Kopana Jhana Vutta Bhagavata. That Buddha has said that this noise, the words or noise, is a throne for absorption or concentration. Then it will be better, it will be good if we go to the Gosinga Salavana. There we can sit in the quiet place, silently, without any difficulties, without any noise, you know, peacefully we can meditate there. So they have thought like that. And all the bhikkhus, the senior monks, what the Buddha were asking, they went to the Gosinga Salavana and they were meditating there. So after listening these words, Buddha was very happy. Buddha said, Sadhu, sadhu, bhikkhave. Sadhu, because sadhu. Yathate mahasavaka samma vyakaramana vyakareyu. Satta Kaṇṭaka hi bhikkhave jhana bhutta maya. But the Buddha says, it's a good bhikkhus. It's good. It's just as those great disciples have so rightly explained. I have said that sound is a throne for absorption. So, see, it's a beautiful thing, you know, when someone follows, as the Buddha has explained, that person, it's praised by the Buddha. It is praised by him. And the Buddha was praising them. Buddha saw that people are coming. Usually, some of the time, it may seem like this. People who want to show off, or they stays in front row some of the time, not all the time. Some of the time, not following the Dhamma, just to pretend that I am there. So Buddha does not praise them. You know, one of the time the Buddha has said these things, that there are bhikkhus who stays close to me, wear the robes like me, walk like me, talk like me, you know, and all that things. It is similar to me, but what I have explained, they are not following. So they are not staying close to me. They are far away from me. Even physically they are there, but they are very far from me. But the some bhikkhu who is practicing Dhamma, as I have said, they are very far physically, but they are very close with me in the Dhamma practice. So that is the word. And here also, to the phrase that same words, what is the says? That these bhikkhu are doing a very great thing. As I have explained, they are following same thing. Then Buddha explained the 10 kind of thorns here. What the Buddha says, Dasaime bhikkhave Kaṇṭaka. So bhikkhus, these are 10 thorns, or 10 spikes, or kind of needles, which pierce and becomes obstacles for practice. Okay? What is 10? The first one is called Paviveka Ramasa Sanganika Ramata Kaṇṭako. The Buddha is saying, relishing company is a throne for someone who loves seclusion. Some of the time, it is very well known, it's very easily findable. The bhikkhu stays in isolation and he enjoys there. If couple of bhikkhus visit them and they make a noise or something, or a lot of people comes to there, it becomes obstacle for their seclusion. And that is true. In our monastery, there are a lot of forest also there. And the bhikkhus who stays in the isolated chambers, it is usually seen that they avoid the contact or they avoid the talking with the bhikkhus. So some of the time, as their gesture or they are as a senior monks, what we have to do that whenever we pass their chamber to go some further, we have to be very silent. We have to be very quiet. And some of the time when we see them walking, doing the walking meditation, we become more conscious about that. So that is the Buddha said. Because if there are a lot of bhikkhus or companies comes there, then their seclusion is broken. And someone developed that mind of seclusion. If a lot of people gather, then again concentrating their mind, again leading their mind in seclusion becomes very difficult. Like it's a very, very simple thing that you have enjoyed. Means a lot of people come to your, like any birthday celebration or any kind of festival is there. So a lot of people comes. They stay with you for 1 day or 2 days, and then third day, everyone goes to their home. How you feel? The entire home is empty. And you miss that company. So when that happens, it becomes very difficult for us. In the same way, if someone enjoys very calm and quiet life, isolated life, and suddenly there are several people come and talk with that person, how that person feels? He feels sometimes this will shout out, sometimes this will, I don't want to stay here, or he himself rise up from his seat and go somewhere else. That happens. So the Buddha says that is the first obstacle. So as a practitioner of Dhamma, time to time, we have to see the paviveka, the seclusion should be there. And we should love that seclusion. Okay? So first obstacle will be it's a company, relation company. All the people, when they come and gather, chat lot, that thing becomes obstacle. Second thing Supreme Buddha says, Asubha nimittanu yogam anuyuttasa subha nimittanu yogu Kaṇṭaka. There is a bhikkhu who want to pursue the meditation on ugliness. Means he sit down and see in all this entire body, there are 32 parts of impurities. And he look at himself. And similarly, he look outside also. Or this asubha is a kind of when someone is practicing the navasivatika. In that also, this person looks at this body is tearing apart, 9 kind of ways that we explain in that. And while he is contemplating on that, if someone beautiful and person comes there or any beautiful features are shown to them, automatically I am looking at impurities in my body and this body is very beautiful. As soon as that thought arises, his mind of concentration of impurities falls back. So the Buddha says, focusing on the beautiful features of things is the throne for someone pursuing the meditation of on ugliness. So that is the second obstacle. That is the second thing the Buddha explained. So whenever you are practicing, that's why the bhikkhus avoid a lot of things, to always goes to the looking at the beautiful things. Sometimes you may have noticed uh, in Sri Lanka or in some of the places of Thailand also, there is a fan they hold in front of them where while they're preaching. So the circular fan is there. It's made with the wood, simple leaves that the fan is made with that, and they hold in front of them for what? So they can avoid seeing other people, and their concentration should not be broken. For listeners, it may look a little bit uh, different, but Sri Lankan people are accustomed to that. They think, oh, the bhikkhu is protecting himself, and that is well praised. That is that's a good thing for them. So the second thing would explain, if someone is want to practice in meditation on impurities, for him, focusing on beautiful features becomes a throne. Third thing would explain, Indriyesu Buddhadarasa Visuka Darsanam Kaṇṭako. What the Buddha says that someone who want to restrain his senses. So the six senses are six or five features like eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind also. So six senses. If someone is guarding very well, okay, for such a person, Visuka Dasana, seeing shows like which takes the mind, like any concert is happening or any plays is happening or movie is shown. What happened? Our all the focus goes to that, because if there is a very huge orchestra is happening or any musical show is happening, what happens? Everyone looks is there. So if someone want to guard his sense, guard himself by eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, can he do that? He cannot, because that noise is very tempting. You want to hear that, like early in the morning. If you hear something beautiful, and whole day you hum, you do humming that the song is ringing in your mind. Or if you have seen something, any movie at early in the morning or any scene, a simple clip, what will happen? Whole day, your mind will be focusing that, okay, I have seen these things. And that's happened in the social media. You see the one reel, and then you goes again and again, more and more, more and more, and your time just finishes that. So if someone want to guard himself, what is happening? His mind is completely captured by these shows. So his eyes, they are looking at, by ears, they are concentrating on that. And in the shows, when you go to the movies, how you enter there? There is a beautiful food corner, you know, very tempting. The popcorn is there with the caramel and different flavors, and aroma is also there. So when you enter in the movie theater, you purchase that. When there is an interval, you come back and you buy that. So if someone want to concentrate, all these things becomes obstacle. That is the Buddha is saying. Indriyesu buddhadarasa visuka dasanam Kaṇṭako. Seeing shows is a throne thrown to someone restraining the senses. That is the third thing Buddha explained. Furthermore, Buddha explained, Brahmacharyasya matugāmupacāro Kaṇṭako. Now, if someone is practicing celibacy or chastity, so celibacy life, if someone is practicing. So if the man is practicing celibacy, whom he should avoid? He should avoid the women. Why? Because there is a chances that his mind can capture and he can break his celibacy. That is the Buddha is saying here. What the Buddha says, Buddha may mention that lingering in the neighborhood of female is a thrown to chastity. Isn't that? In the numerical discourses, the book of 1, from the first chapter, Buddha has mentioned that if there is no more dangerous or there is no more stronger, which strongly captures some immense mind, the form of women. That is happening. The smell is also, the touch is also, the words also, and the thought is also. That is a common thing. Exceptions are there may be, but if someone or anyone live with the company of women for longer time or linger with them, and they are saying that they are practicing chastity or they are practicing celibacy, it becomes very difficult, very, very difficult. Like we are staying in the monasteries and like long time has already passed. We have seen a lot of ups and downs in the monasteries. We have all the scriptures with what happened when the Buddha was present, what happened after that also, and what is happening today. It is visible, it is seen, and it is true. When the bhikkhu, any monk, or anyone who is practicing celibacy, if they spend more and more time with the female, with the women, there is a 99% chances that they will break their vow. They will break this celibacy. That happens. Same goes for women also. If any nun or any female is observing celibacy and they are lingering the company with men, what will happen? There is a chances that it will happen. We have seen a lot of bhikkhus, and our teacher is very strongly advised. Our Buddha has mentioned simply, when the Buddha was passing away, Ananda Bhante asked from Supreme Buddha, Bhante, how we should treat, how we should deal with the women, how we should treat them. So Buddha says, Adasaniyan, because you should not see them. Do not see them. Okay? Avoid them to see. Bhante, there will be chances to see them, means because when the bhikkhus are going for alms round, food, begging food, who is going to offer? Women are going to offer most of the time. Then there is a chances to see. When they are sitting in the monastery, a lot of women will come to ask the questions or listen Dhamma. So there is that. So Buddha says, if there is the time comes when you have to see them, do not talk with them. Be silent. Akatam, do not talk. Then the Buddha, Ananda Bhante asked from the Buddha, Bhante, what happened when there is a time comes to talk with them? Means always when someone comes, it is courtesy to ask them how they are doing, how is everything. Simple conversation is there. Buddha, when they ask, Buddha said, develop the mindfulness when you speak with them. Okay? Be mindful what you are talking, what you are doing. When you are conscious of that, then it is okay to converse with them. Why the Buddha said these things? He is not against our women, but he's saying if the bhikkhu want to protect their celibacy, The bhikkhu want to protect their monkhood, then they have to. Temptation is very strong force, and it can arise anywhere. There is one of the Jatakas who has explained that Jataka. So, because of his long journey of samsara and he remember all that things, truly, the Buddha has explained, someone want to follow the chastity or someone want to follow the celibacy, the lingering with the women, it is a throne for that celibacy. And that is true. That is true. Our teacher, who always guards us, he always says, okay, be conscious. Do not talk with the women. Do not talk loud. And that conversation comes very simple. Very. Just, oh, Bante, how are you doing? Bante, I have one Dhamma question. Let me ask. And that conversation starts from there. On the phone also, this thing happened. And that voice, it's very melodious for men. Yes, it is true. It's true. And then slowly, slowly, oh, I haven't talked with that woman in long time. Let me dial that number. And that conversation start from there. Then they come to me. And I don't know what happens. Suddenly the bhikkhu is want to go outside. That thing is happening. And looking at that, looking at this Buddha's words, there is not a single slightest objection anyone can raise. For the nuns also, it's the same thing. In the nuns, monasteries, our teacher is very, very conscious. Always mention, no single monk will go to the nuns monastery. Always means for the monks, when the women come, another bhikkhu should be with you or any upasaka should be there when you are conversing with women. For the nuns, our teacher is mentioned, always there should be one female presence whenever someone comes to monastery, and never should talk in the open, never should talk in the isolated place. Always they should talk in the open place. Those are the rules the Buddha made us. For what? To protect the celibacy. And that's here the Buddha mentioned. That is the obstacle for celibacy. So there may be some time it appears that bhikkhu does not want to talk with any women directly. It is not to they are avoiding you. It is protect themselves. So you should develop compassion when the bhikkhu does do such a things. In a one way, there may be chances that you are more beautiful and you may be, so that's why it is there. So the Buddha explained, Brahmacharya sa matugam charo Kaṇṭako, lingering with the company of female or female is thrown to chastity. That is the one thing. Then Supreme Buddha says furthermore, Pathamassa jhanassa saddo Kaṇṭako. Sound is a throne to the first mindfulness, first jhana absorption. So if someone is practicing the first jhana, viviccehi kamehi, viviccehi akusalehi dhammehi, savitakkaṃ savichāraṃ patamang jhana, pītisukkaṃ patamang jhana upasampajja viharati. That is the first jhana. So viviccehi kamehi, with all the duties what they are doing or works, all the sensual pleasure, separating from that, isolating our mind from all the akusalas, the bhikkhu or any monk, with the vitakka vichara, with the thought process in the mind, this monk is concentrate, vitakka vichara, piti sukha. So the rapture is there, the priti, the happiness is there, and he sit down for meditate and attain the first jhana. What happened to the first jhana? If someone knock on the door, the voice, sound will come to them. Automatically, they have to say, oh, who is here? So their concentration is broken. It is true. Once someone knock on the door, the first time we try to say, okay, I haven't heard. I don't know, but 2 or 3 times, then it becomes very irritating. And after that, it becomes very difficult to concentrate. And that is safe. So it is like something. Thrones are usually, when you are walking barefoot or even in the shoes and walking in the forest, there are a lot of trees who has thorns, and any simple thing pokes into your feet, you are unable to place your foot down by because there is a wooden stick or wooden throne is there. Until you remove, it is difficult, and the pain stays there for a long time. It doesn't go immediately. So that is the Buddha explained here. Pathamasya jhanasya sadhu Kaṇṭaka. For the first mindfulness or first observation, the thrones is a sound. So we become very conscious, very strong-willed minded. That no sound comes when you are practicing the first jhana. After that, sound doesn't become obstacle because your hearing goes away. Means your doesn't effect on you because you are that much concentrated. So your senses becomes numb all the time. Then Buddha says, Dutiyasya jhanasya vitakka vichara Kaṇṭaka. When there is a second obsession, when there is a second jhana is connected, placing the mind and keeping in concentrating. So vitakka vichara. So like you are doing the loving kindness meditation, and there are words you are reciting. What? May all beings live in peace, live happily. So for the first jhana, that concentration of that words, of continuance of that words is important, because with that you're practicing that jhana. But when you are attending the second jhanas, these words does not stays there. Only feeling. There is no words. Only that mindfulness. May all beings live in peace, but not with the words, but with your insight. Without words, that loving kindness flows through you. But when you are concentrating, and immediately the thought arises in your mind, any thought arises in your mind, that become obstacle. So when you are doing the second jhanas, not any thought can arise. The first jhana you attended with the words, those thoughts will arise in you. Majority of time. Some of the time there may be the different, but majority of time this will come, and those thoughts are placing the mind and concentrating on that particular one words or keeping connected, that becomes thorn. So Dutiya jhanasya vitakka vichara Kaṇṭaka. Third Supreme Buddha says, Tatiyasya jhanasya piti Kaṇṭako. So now third jhana is something like that. Then the piti has already gone. Only sukha, happiness, and dukkha is already gone. Pleasure is already gone. So on that time, the middle state you are attending, that is the third jhana. In that time, the rapture. So rapture is a throne for third jhana. Okay, that is Buddha explained. Chaturtha jhanasya asasa pasaso Kaṇṭako. For the fourth jhana, breathing, breathing is a throne for fourth observation. How can breathe become obstacle? How can breathe become throne? So when you attain the fourth jhana, what happened? There is no concentration on your breath. Breathing is only helpful for first jhana. Furthermore, as you go further, there is no feeling like from the second jhana, the voice does not affect on you. In the same way, in fourth jhana, the breathing does not matter. You breathe, but there is no mindfulness of that. There is a utter pure happiness. There is a upekkha, there is a upekkha lingers there. And that's why some of time when someone breathes or their mind goes in breathing. So they have come out of that fourth jhana. It is said that. Then Buddha explained, Sanya Vedaita Nirodha Samapattiya Sanyacha Vedanacha Kaṇṭako Rago Kaṇṭako Doso Kaṇṭako Moho Kaṇṭako. What the Buddha says, Buddha is explaining here that perception and feelings are the thrown to the attainment of the cessation of perception and feeling. Greed, hate, and delusion are thrones. So this is for someone is attaining the enlightenment. If someone has stopping, someone is saying that sanya and vedana nirodha, the perception and the feelings that they want to avoid. When that happened, you isolate yourself from all the worldly things. Nothing matters on that time. And you go in the further step that you attain enlightenment from there. For that, what is the obstacle? The first is called sanya. The perception is there. Vedana, the feelings, that become obstacles. Then Buddha says raga, dvesa, and moha. Those become obstacles. You know? Furthermore, the Supreme Buddha mentioned, Kaṇṭaka bhikkhave viharata, because live free of thrones. Kaṇṭaka bhikkhave viharata, because live without thrones. You know, Nikaṇṭaka bhikkhave viharata, live rid of thrones. Akaṇṭaka Nikaṇṭaka bhikkhave viharata, because live free of thrones and rid of thrones. Akaṇṭaka bhikkhave viharato, bhikkhave arahanto. The perfect one, the enlightened one, they are free of thrones. So in this world, who is free of thrones? Only enlightened monks. Arahanto. Akaṇṭaka bhikkhave arahanto. The perfect ones, the enlightened bhikkhus, they are free of thrones. Nikaṇṭaka bhikkhave arahanto. These perfect ones live rid of thrones. Akaṇṭaka Nikaṇṭaka bhikkhave arahanto. These bhikkhus are, these perfect ones, is free and rid of thrones. That the Bhikkhu explained. So what is his advice to us? That we should live the life as enlightened monks. How? That we should get rid of all this, rid of thrones. We should be free of thrones. So as a practicing Dhamma, when these 10 things you find, so from beginning, when you are isolation, keep that isolation continuously. Do not engage in lot of, or do not engage yourself in gatherings. When you gather, then your seclusion is broken. When you are practicing mindfulness on impurities, then beautiful things or beautiful objects when you see, that become obstacles. You know, like whenever we talk about, okay, this body is very unpure, and these are all things are there. Majority of time people observes on the skin. They say, this is beautiful. No, that is a mirage. From the younger, is we see this beautiful body, and slowly it goes to decay, and that happens. But very rare people, very few people are there who can understand from that. That is asubhanimitta niyogo anuyuttasya subhanimitta. The good side becomes obstacles. When someone is guarding their sense faculties, eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, when they are guarding that time, these beautiful shows, what we see, or any kind of, amusing things is there, that become obstacles for that. If one of the beautiful stories goes there. Buddha says, how the bhikkhu, you should enter into the village, how you should go into the village, how you should guard yourself. So Do like this. There is a one person in his forehead. There is a small cup of oil is in forehead. It is keep on his head, and two persons are walking behind him with the swords. And the king has advised them, if this person spill a single drop of oil, just cut his throat. Okay? Now, this person who loves his life, who want to live in this world, who want to live happily, when that person enters, how he will behave in the society. Because the first thing is he want to protect his life. So whatever happening outside, he will not look at any of it. Why? Because if you look here and there, what will happen? The oil will spill and someone will cut them. You know? So the Buddha says in the same way, because when you enter into the village for alms round, you should think anyone can capture your eyes. Any thought or anything can capture your mind, and you are living in the forest, you are living in some place, and you have left the beautiful home, you have left the money and everything, but you see that outside these people are enjoying the five sensual things, and that thought can arise in your mind. When you are home, you also live this such a beautiful life, and now you are suffering. You can go back and enjoy that thing. If that thought arises, he cannot go and meditate. That is Buddha is mentioned here. When someone is guarding their senses, these shows become obstacle. Isn't it beautiful? Please. And for the celibacy, it's always. That's why usually we explain, when you are practicing celibacy for one day also, sleep separately, avoid the contact. We do not know when the raga will come, when the sensual desire will arise, and when that will be replied. So it is mentioned here. And so these are the beautiful thoughts the Buddha explained. Once it is pierced in us, it becomes very difficult to get rid of, and pain is very hard. So the Buddha's advice to us is that be free of these all thrones. Get rid of these thrones. Live the life as an arahanta. Live the life as an enlightened beings. Okay, that is advice. So may this sutta, may this Kaṇṭaka sutta be helpful for all of us to understand these thrones and to identify these thrones in our life. And may this sutta be helpful for all of us to live the life of enlightenment. May this sutta be helpful for all of us to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo Buddhaya, Bante.
Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you for teaching us. Very nice. 10 thorns. Bante, I couldn't visualize breathing as a thorn for the fourth jhana. So does it mean, Bante, what would be the condition for anybody who has reached the fourth jhana? Is it equanimity? And is it, I'm not very sure, Bante maybe can explain further. Is it because of equanimity and that's why the breathing, Bante explained that breathing, you don't have to be very mindfulness of breathing. So how does it work, Bante? Thank you.
Concentration takes you deeper and deeper. For concentrating your mind, you use the nimitta of your breath. And your initial concentration begin from here. As you go in deeper and deeper, that you does not observe on just your breath. You observe on entire body. Slowly that. And their only idea remains that I am breathing. Furthermore, then first jhana happened, second jhana happened. After that, there is no need for breathing. There is only and only immersion is there. Because you cannot hold the first thing. First thing, like you are breathing, if you hold that, you cannot go further. And that is there. Like, it's in simple way. If you are going for the swim and you dive there first, so you hold the ladder and uh, you just first time you do not just jump in the water. You hold the ladder and slowly climb down. Then you relax yourself and then put your feet here and there. After that, what you do? You throw that ladder. Ladder is still there because when you want to climb out, you will utilize that. So ladder is still there, but you forget about it and that move. Same thing happens in the fourth jhana. Breathing is there, but you do not concentrate on that because you have gone more deeper, more inside than the breath. So for the only initiation, the breathing is important. Is that clear?
Yes, Bhante, I got it now. Thank you. Thank you very much, Bhante. Sadhu.
Bhante, thank you very much for that beautiful sutta. Question I had, so if a bhikkhu is he's going on the alms round and he sees something beautiful, whether it's a person or a car or something that attracts him, can he not, because he's gone through, I assume, at least the 4 jhanas, can he not take that thought and just, like we do when we're doing breathing meditation, we just acknowledge that it's there and let it fly by? And then I can still continue meditating. But you said he can't meditate if he sees that. So I'm trying to understand how that would work.
Thing is, Alan, it's yes, they can get rid of, but something which is very precious is when the mind has attended, when the mind has captured something, and it is favorable to you, like some that lingers in our mind. Okay, hum any song which you love a lot, and then sit down for meditation. That sound will come to your mind. You will try to get rid of that. And 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, this sound will again enter into the mind. That is commonly seen. As a bhikkhus, like we are just very initiated in the Dhamma, just enter in the Dhamma, like just now we are learning what is Dhamma, something like for us. We haven't had that strong concentration yet. What will happen? If any women capture our mind and our whole life is flow toward that, then all the time, because that is the most attractive thing is for them. Like it's someone, very simple thing. Diabetic person, when he see the sweets, what is the first thought come in his mind? He want to eat it. That's all. Sugar level, insulin, I will see later. I want to enjoy that. It becomes very difficult for anyone to stop that person. Very difficult. I have seen in our monasters also, there are a lot of people, that is the third population in this world, the first country-wise, and then the diabetes. That is the highest number of people out there. It's very hard for them to stop. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Same thing goes for this. This is also tempting.
Now, Bhante, so just a question. So placing the mind and keeping it connected is also a hindrance. So does that I think it also works. It's the same if you're always thinking negative, let's say, you're obsessed with negative thinking of sort. or kind of like you have, let's say, some sort of like a negative mentality or so, and then you keep thinking that over and over again, and then does that count as a hindrance? Like, is it the same?
Hindrance is for the initial state. Yes, it is. But this hindrance is we are talking about for the second thing, not for the first jhana. Second jhana, like you're already concentrated. Like when you are yes, you're already concentrated, and now when your mind is already concentrated with the first jhanas, where you initially begin those, and then the thought happens, then you try to concentrate your mind and you want to keep in that way, that become obstacle. Negative thoughts does not come into the when you do the mindfulness. Those are before the first jhana. Like commonly when we are sitting for meditation and those, that time the negative thoughts comes, and that is the obstacle for our mindfulness, concentration. Okay, but not for the jhanas. You have already passed that level of negative thoughts before you attending the first jhana. Okay, like here the Buddha says 10 things, and from the initial level to the enlightenment, what the obstacles will be there is there. Simply, I will put in the simple way. Any monk who enter in the monastery, what the Buddha says, use the isolation. If you engage in lot of people, what will happen? You will be unable to practice the Dhamma. So live in isolation. For that, the obstacles Buddha explained. When that person is living obstacle, bhikkhu, what you should do? You should practice the asubha to isolate yourself from the household life. Then that is the second thing. When they are practicing the ashubhas, then Buddha says, guard yourself. This is all 10 things for one person. If you see, until enlightenment, these 10 things will be there. So, third thing is guard your sense faculties, because that will obstacles. Then always stay away from the women or opposite of sex, because that can always bring you back. Then when the bhikkhu is free from those things, firstly, he has separated himself, isolated himself, concentrated himself, and he is practicing celibacy. Now the bhikkhu is practicing jhanas. So already the negativity has left behind. For the common person, before practicing meditation, before attaining the first jhana, negativity has been gone away. As he is practicing there is no positivity, there is no negativity. That time only concentration is there. In that concentrative state, the first jhana you practice, now you go furthermore. And that when you go furthermore, then like, as I give to the example to the Harry, when someone start swimming, they do not go directly dive inside. They keep their mouth up and breathe. If someone go into the water, inside the water, and then they breathe from the mouth, what will happen? The water will come in. That is the second thing. So you practice at above, not to breathe in the water. Above the water, you can breathe. Now you have practiced to hold your breath that much, so you go in deep. That is the second thing is mentioned. Second jhana, that vitakka vichara, or the concentration, or keeping your mind to the concentrated, that become obstacle. Because you have already passed that state, and now you have entered into the furthermore. So negativity and positivity will be before the first jhana, before the concentration, not at this moment. This moment will only become obstacles that you are concentrating and forcing yourself to keep that way. That becomes obstacle. Is that clear? Yeah. So our negativities and all, it already fades away in that moment. Now, not that much strongly is there. We gather here had a beautiful Dhamma talk, beautiful conversation, lot of good questions we have asked and we have discussed upon it. So I hope it is very helpful for all of you. Today, as gathering here, going refuge to Triple Gem, observing precepts, practicing meditation, learning the sutta, discussing upon the sutta, we have collected a lot of good karma, lot of good deeds we have gathered here. So all the merit we collected at this moment, we share it with all the heavenly beings. May all the heavenly beings rejoice in this merit and they may realize the Four Noble Truth in this Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We share this merit with all the departed relatives, all the relatives from this life, on all the samsara. We share this merit with all of them. By the power of this merit, they may have a good life in next life and they may become fortunate to escape from this harsh journey of samsara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We share this merit with our teacher, Lokaswami Nohansa, all the monks in the monastery, all the nuns in the monastery, all the nuns and monks in this country, in this world. We share this merit with all of them. They may practice well, they may have association of noble friend, and they may realize this Dhamma in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We share this merit with all of you, all the participants of today's program who will listen this Dhamma in the future. I will share this merit with them also. All the devotees in our monastery, whoever donated us to build this Mahamevnawa monastery, we share this merit with them also. We share this merit with all your family members, relatives, friends, work colleagues. By the power of this merit, by the power of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, in deity's protection, you may all have happy life, healthy life, long life. All the fortune comes your way. You may have the assistance and guidance of noble friend, and you may realize this Dhamma in this Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So bless you all. Avivadana Silisa Nichang Vadhapachayino Chattaru Dhamma Vaddanti Ayuvanno Sukham Balam Ayurarogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Mevacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Minate Samichatu. Sukhi.
Oh, sorry, Bante. Allow us to share merit with Bante and ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
Okasa Wandami Bante.
Sukhi Untu.
Maya katang punyang samina numodi tambang.
Sadhan Mudami.
Samina katang punyang may hangda tambang.
Sadhuan Mudami.
Sadhu sadhu anumodami. Okasa dwarate na katang sabang at chayang kamatanita. Okasa kamami Bante. Dutiyampi okasa kamami Bante. Tatiyampi okasa kamami Bante. Sadhu.
Sukhi Untu.
Thank you, Bante, for beautiful sutta.
See you next
May
week.
Bante be well and happy.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bante.
Bante.
Taranay. Thank you, Bante.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Bante,
Namo
Namo
Buddhaya.
Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Bye.
Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.